Manchester United have reportedly turned their gaze towards Turin, with Juventus centre-back Gleison Bremer emerging as a potential target for the Red Devils' defensive reinforcement plans. The interest from Old Trafford has not gone unnoticed, and while Juventus are reluctant to part ways with the Brazilian defender, they may yet be persuaded under specific circumstances. Looking ahead to 2026, Manchester United are understood to have placed the recruitment of a commanding central defender high on their agenda. The club hierarchy has grown increasingly concerned about the lack of depth in their defensive ranks, with injuries and inconsistency having exposed their frailties in recent campaigns. Bringing in a reliable and physically imposing presence is therefore seen as a necessity, not a luxury. Bremer, who has carved out a reputation as one of Serie A's most formidable defenders, has quickly risen to the top of United's shortlist. Since his arrival in Turin, the Brazilian international has been a mainstay at the heart of the bianconeri backline, combining pace, power, and positional intelligence in a way that has earned him plaudits across the continent. Italian outlet Calciomercato has reported, however, that any move for Bremer would not be straightforward. Juventus, historically protective of their defensive stalwarts, are said to be resolute in keeping hold of the player. The club's management view Bremer not merely as a squad member, but as a cornerstone of their sporting project. For Juventus, the defender embodies the resilience and authority they require to re-establish themselves among Europe's elite. His ability to shackle strikers with a mixture of raw strength and tactical awareness has made him indispensable to Massimiliano Allegri's plans. In truth, his departure would leave a gaping hole in the side, one that could not easily be patched without significant investment. Such is Bremer's importance that the club have little appetite to entertain offers. The bianconeri hierarchy are aware that allowing him to leave could undo much of the progress they have painstakingly put together in recent years. Nevertheless, while the official stance is one of reluctance, there remains a narrow avenue for Manchester United to explore. According to the same reports, Juventus would only consider sanctioning a sale if Manchester United were prepared to part with a figure in the region of €70 million. It is a price deliberately set at a premium, reflecting not only Bremer's on-field influence but also the cost of sourcing a replacement of similar caliber. This financial demand signals Juventus' intent. They will not be bullied into selling on the cheap. The valuation is also consistent with their broader transfer policy, which has seen them leverage their prized assets to strengthen other areas of the squad. Should United match the asking price, they would at least secure a seat at the negotiating table. Manchester United, for their part, are understood to be weighing their options carefully. The Glazer ownership, combined with the club's need to remain compliant with financial fair play regulations, means that any outlay of this magnitude must be meticulously planned. The recruitment team are therefore running parallel scouting operations to ensure they are not solely dependent on one target. In England, whispers have emerged linking United with Everton's highly rated youngster Gerard Branthwaite. The towering defender, who has impressed at Goodison Park with his composure and physicality, is viewed as a potential long-term solution for United's defensive woes. His Premier League experience and homegrown status could also tilt the scales in his favour. Nevertheless, Bremer represents a very different profile. At 29 in 2026, he would bring a degree of maturity and seasoning that Branthwaite, still climbing the learning curve, cannot yet offer. United are believed to be considering whether the Brazilian's ready-made qualities might justify the hefty outlay, particularly as Erik ten Hag continues to demand reliability at the back. The decision will ultimately come down to balancing short-term needs with long-term planning. Manchester United manager Rubenamorim has offered his full support to winger Amad Diallo, who is currently going through a difficult period following a bereavement in his family. Amorim has stressed that the club's priority is to stand by the Ivorian international during this time, ensuring that he receives the care and understanding he requires. The Portuguese coach was clear that football must take a back seat in such circumstances. He explained that Amad had been granted compassionate leave by the club and would therefore not feature in the Reds' upcoming away fixture against Brentford. Amorim added that results on the pitch were secondary to the well-being of his player. Right now, the only thing that matters is Amad and his family, Amorim remarked in a calm yet firm tone. We have assured him that he has the full support of the club and the dressing room. The next match is of no importance compared with his personal situation. Since returning from injury earlier in the season, Diallo has been involved in 6 matches for United. His versatility has seen him deployed both as an attacking midfielder in the number 10 role and, more unexpectedly, as a right wing-back. He has started on 5 occasions, showing flashes of his technical quality and energy. However, his progress has not been without challenges. In recent weeks, the 22-year-old found himself at the center of attention on social media after engaging in a light-hearted exchange with his former teammate Alejandro Garnacho. Garnacho's controversial departure from Old Trafford following tensions after the win against Chelsea led to criticism directed at Amad from certain online supporters. The online backlash proved overwhelming for the young forward. In response, Amad took the decision to delete all content from his Instagram and X accounts, preferring to step away from the noise and hostility that had followed him in the digital space. For Amorim, this incident only reinforced his view of the harmful influence social media can have on players. "I have strongly encouraged the lads to stay off social media entirely," Amorim explained. "In the current climate, the constant scrutiny and negativity are damaging, and they distract from what truly matters: the team, the club, and the shared ambition we have. That is the reality of our lives as professionals, not what is written online." The manager was keen to underline that the squad stands firmly behind Amad, both as a footballer and as a person. He highlighted that the United players see themselves as a family, with an obligation to look after each other during times of hardship. Amorim also said the team would dedicate their efforts on the pitch to Amad while he is absent. "We can win without Amad," Amorim acknowledged. "But that victory, whenever it comes, will be for him. Our solidarity is what defines us as a group. We know his qualities, and we know how much he gives to us when he is available. Now it is our turn to give something back." Beyond addressing Amad's personal situation, Amorim used his press conference to stress the broader need for Manchester United to cultivate a sense of momentum. He has been candid about his belief that the squad has sometimes lacked urgency and intensity in their performances. "This is a crucial point for us," he said. "After the last game we spoke about it in depth. We cannot allow ourselves to drift into matches without the necessary energy. The level of competition in this league means that complacency is punished instantly. We must enter every contest with the determination to prevail, no matter the circumstances." Amorim admitted that while he has often sensed the right intentions from his players, those intentions must translate into consistent performances. He pointed to United's strong displays against Chelsea and Burnley as examples of the standard that must become the norm, not the exception. "When we prepared for those matches, the focus was exceptional," Amorim reflected. "We studied the opposition carefully, and the players showed a hunger to impose themselves from the very first whistle. That is precisely the attitude we must replicate again and again if we are to achieve our objectives."